morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. And it is an everyday, constant struggle. Well, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but there's always stuff coming at us, right? Especially today. Especially, we live in an internet age, and the technology has advanced, and there's just all this stuff to distract us all day long. And I'm so distractible. I'll look up and realize I've been chasing all these silly little videos or watching reels and doom scrolling, as they call it now, and I didn't get anything out of it. So I'm learning to turn it off, but don't turn me off. Okay, I got something to say. So don't turn me off though. So please listen. But it pays to be selective when it comes to what we listen to, when it comes to what we allow in our heart, what we allow in our ears and our eyes. And I want to look at a familiar story today. And thank God this Bible character, this dude that became the hero for the whole world, even the worldly world talks about this guy, this little guy, right? And I'm thankful he did not listen to those around him. Had he listened to those around him, we would never enjoy this story. He would have packed it up and gone home and not killed Goliath. I'm talking about David in 1 Samuel 17. And, he's just there to give his brothers some food. And to see if they're okay so he can go back to his dad. He's the youngest. That's why he was the shepherd to begin with, because he is the youngest of all of them. And that was the chores as they were doled out were in matter of whoever the most important kids, the older kids, the more responsible kids got the bigger stuff. And the youngest one always felt to take care of the sheep because nobody wanted to take care of the sheep. I don't blame them. Try pastoring a church. I'm not going to ever pastor, right? It's a lot to take care of. Seriously, right? And so that always fell down to them because they were the youngest and they had to go out and that was their lot because the older brothers took the more desirable chores rather than being out by themselves in the wilderness. But now David liked that. That's where we discovered he was a true worshiper. He had his harp out there and he sang. He killed the bears and lions and tigers. Oh my, right? And we see so much about David from his those years of being a shepherd. But here he is. His dad says, "Go check on the other brothers who are at the war." So David's not even old enough to go to war. He's not even old enough to go to war. He's still at home taking care of the sheep. Okay, and so as he gets there. And Goliath comes out and just rails on the Israeli army. And David's like, "Who is this guy? And why are you listening to him?" Right? And then they're told, well, the King Saul is going to give, he's got all these things to give. He's going to be given his people will never have to pay taxes. The king will give one of his daughters to whoever defeats Goliath as his wife. I mean, it's a good package. David's like, "Hey, I think this is worth the battle," right? And so he's like, "Why are you letting this giant rail on our God? Why are you not defending God? Why are you not standing up?" And before he can get to Goliath, he has 3 different times that he could have given up if he had listened to everybody else. 3 times in just this little chapter. The first one is his brother. And his brother said, "What are you doing here? Why are you even here?" Like he's not important. Why are you even here at the battlefront? He says, "Where are all those few sheep that you take care of?" He says, "I know your pride. I know you're dishonest. You just want to see the battle." And David's like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." And then he ignored his older brother and went on and went back and started asking again. Now, what do you get if you take out when I kill this giant? What am I going to get? Right? He didn't listen to the demeaning words from his brother. Those words and the actually false accusations that he was dishonest and just there to see the battle. His dad had sent him there. He was supposed to be there, right? And then Saul says this in verse 33. David says, "Don't worry about a thing. I'm going to fight this Philistine." He's not, look, think of this picture, y'all. You've got a whole army. The whole Israeli army is lined up, standing here, all probably behind shields or in the trees. They've taken cover. And they're standing, but you've got all these armed soldiers in full gear standing there. And little David is just in his street clothes, so to speak. And he's going, "It's okay, Saul. It's all right. I got this giant." And look, get this picture in your mind because it looked really weird. It didn't look right. It's like, and Saul's like, and so Saul says this. He goes, "Don't be ridiculous." New Living, right? "Don't be ridiculous," Saul said. "There's no way you can go against this Philistine. You are only, ever heard that? You are only. You're not worth it. You're not big enough. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You are only a boy. And he has been in the army since he was a boy. And David said, you know what? I've been taking care of sheep. I killed a bear and a lion with my bare hands. When they came to steal from my flock, he said, I club it to death. I've killed both lions and bears. I will do that to this pagan Philistine too, for he has defied the armies of the living God. David is passionate about protecting what is God's. He is passionately standing there going, I'm going to take it. I don't care. None of this matters. He's got to go. So he doesn't listen to number 2, the discouragement number 2. And Saul goes, well, let me at least give you my armor. He said, Saul, but it didn't even fit. It did not fit David. And David goes, I cannot go out there in this. I haven't tested them. I don't know how it works. It's in my way. It's uncomfortable. I'm not wearing your armor. And that's a good thing because David actually had the armor of God. He was actually clothed in the armor of God because he had a covenant with God, right? So David did not have a covenant with Saul because in a covenant you trade armor. I know we've talked about that before. Part of a covenant is trading armor and saying your enemies are my enemies, your friends are my friends, your family is my family. We got each other's backs. And so he didn't need Saul's armor because he had God's armor, because he had a covenant with God. So he goes on out there. And then number 3, Goliath basically laughs at him. It says he's sneering in contempt at this ruddy-faced boy, not even a teenager, not even a man. We don't know exactly how old he was. I'm sure that, and he says, am I a dog? Am I a dog that you come at me with a stick? And Goliath is laughing at David. This is number 3 within this one day. His own brother, the king of the whole nation, and now the enemy of himself, Goliath, is saying, who is this? He says he cursed David by the names of his God. He says, come here, let me just feed your flesh to the birds and wild animals. David said, you know what? I'm not listening to none of y'all. That's where I am today. I'm not going to listen to all this. This is a lot of noise. And thank God they didn't have Facebook. He could have doom scrolled all of those horrible things because people say some mean things on Facebook and on Twitter and all the different social media, platforms. They can be brutal. They can be hateful. They can be demeaning. It can be a very toxic place if you don't really guard what's coming in your heart. David just came out of that. This was their face-to-face book, right? His brother saying, why are you even here? You're nothing. Go home to daddy. Saul saying, you're a boy. And he's standing in front of an army of grown men that are afraid to come out and take care of Goliath. And David's like, I don't care. And then Goliath himself's going, are you just a little, am I a dog? You're just chasing me with a stick? What good is it? I'm going to bite your arms off. He's just the 3rd time. And David just says, you know what? You come to me with a sword, a spear, and a javelin. 1, 2, 3 for all 3 accusations. How's that? But I come to you in the name of the Lord God Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. And today the Lord, not me, the Lord will conquer you and I will kill you. I love that. David did not listen to all those voices. He could have looked at his brother and gone, yeah, you're right. Let me just go home and take care of the sheep. You're right. But he didn't. He was passionate about protecting God's name. He was like, who is this? Why are you listening to that? Why are you listening to him? And then he practiced it. He's like, why am I listening to my brother who's not speaking the truth? Why am I listening to Saul who's not speaking the truth? Why am I listening to Goliath who's not speaking the truth? And then he says the truth. God will deliver you into my hand and I'm going to kill you. I'm going to take you out today. And it did not look like he could do that until you got this whole army behind him standing back there in full armor, fully weaponized, fully ready to take a battle. And they're just standing there watching this little boy go out there in front of Goliath. Thank God that David gives us this example of why we don't listen to the other stuff. We just listen to God. We stand with this saying, I don't care what my enemy looks like today, if it's finances, if it's emotional distress, if it's overwhelm, that's where I am, if it's relationship related, if it's, we all have our plates are full of all kinds of things. Maybe there's trouble with a job or not having a job or getting paid on a job. That was my problem last week, right? All these different things. It could be so many different things. My imagination can't get there, right? Because it could be so many things. And we're staring at the enemy and we've got all these things telling us, you're not going to make it. God's not going to deliver you. You don't have peace. This is not peace. You're not feeling peace. You're not hearing peace. God's word doesn't apply to you. What do you think you're doing? You made this mess. God's not going to help you. We've got those same voices saying you're small. You're not big enough. You're not good enough. And it's a good thing we're not, because then we can stand before whatever our enemy is today and say, God will deliver you into my hand. I'm going to trust him, and this is going to be over. This is going to be over because I'm going to trust God with whatever's on my plate today. I'm going to trust God that he's going to make a way when it looks like there's not a way. I trust him that we're going to have miracles today, that the enemy that stands over us and looms over us is going to topple to the ground with one stone. And we know that stone is Jesus, the rock, the foundation stone, the cornerstone of our faith is Jesus, and that one stone is going to take out our enemy. We can stand before our Goliaths, no matter how many there are, no matter what they represent in our lives, and go, God will deliver you into my hand, and I'm going to kill you in my life. Now, we're not talking about a real person. Don't censor me, right? But we're talking about situations that present themselves. We're talking about problems that come our way. We're talking about things that the enemy tries to make bigger than it is, make us look small, make us look like we don't have armor. See, we don't have to worry about Saul's armor because we got God's armor. We literally have the armor of God because we have a covenant with God. So we can go stand before our giants and go, God's going to take you out today, and I'm going to trust him to know how to remove you from my life, because we're talking about problems, not people. Sometimes problems are attached to people, and God will take those relationships will move out of our lives. And if they're toxic, let them go. It's okay. Because then you're not going to hear God's peace until you get rid of some of those things, right? But God's going to take care of the giants for us. We don't have to worry about what our brothers, our family or friends say about us, that we're in pride and we're being dishonest. We're seeking something else. We don't have to worry about the king telling us. Our king's not going to tell us, oh, you're just a boy, you're too small. Our king's going to go, yeah, go get him. I got you. Come on, I got your back. Let's go. Go take him out. And then we stand before our enemies sometimes. And of course, they're not people again, right? Our situations look so big and we feel so small sometimes. But we've got to look past Goliath. See, David was looking past Goliath, and he was going, and Goliath saying, what am I, a dog, that you send this little boy with a stick out here to chase me? And David looked past him and he said, the Lord will conquer you. I come to you in the name of the Lord. So he looked past Goliath, past the giant that was looming in front of him, and said, there's a God that's going to take you out today. And that was where he found that peace. He was at total peace, standing there with no armor, nothing to defend him but God. What a great place to be. Vulnerable, scary, oh my gosh-ish, right? But what a great place to be. When we feel most vulnerable, we can remind ourselves that God's got our back. And no giant, no fear, no doubt, no problem, no situation can stand before us, because we look past that situation and go, God's got my back. And that's why we can peace out today. He's got your back. Trust me, he really does. We don't have to listen to the voices. We just have to listen to him. Have a great day, you guys. I'll see you again tomorrow.